Kingsley, and Mortey. We are live. We are here. It is an exciting time to be a Ghanaian. Everything is almost set, apart from the fact that the register is corrupt, it's littered with a lot of filth. We need to clean the register up. We need to get things straightened up easy. Let's do this and do this for Mother God.
2024, yeah, back to Mahama. 2024, yeah,
It's Body Beats, the drum king.
2024, yeah, back to Mahama. 2024, yeah, wanna know. What's the one pay, mama? I feel the world lose to mama. It's a one pay, mama. I didn't think I woke in mama. I am pay, mama. I feel the you lose to mama. It's a one pay, mama. I didn't think I woke in mama. 2024, yeah, back to Mahama. 2024, yeah, wanna know. What my hands to Obama. What my hands to Omano. Ubi I see, yeah. Ubi I see, you. Oh no, I no go. Oh no, I no go. What to buy John the money? Ndc you know. One on body pack. One on pay Mahama. Ya no me do you no me jana go shia fidi ya muchila baganda. Ndc ya kofaba. John the money Mahama. Ghana jinkwana ba. Iti wama ya mano wakaba. 2024 yeah back to Mahama. 2024 yeah wanna know. 2024 yeah back to Mahama. 2024 yeah wanna know. Oh my hand to Obama. Oh my hand to Mano. Ubi I see you. Ubi I see you. Oh no I know. Oh no I know. Want to my John the money. Ndc you know. Mahama Sanaba. Mahama Akwaba. None of us who feel about the somebody. Ndc Akwaba. Ya did you to my Akwaba. None of you to your free will. The somebody Sanaba. What's the one pay mama? I feel the one who's to mama. It's the one pay mama. I didn't think I woke in mama. I am pay mama. I feel the you lose to mama. It's the one pay mama. I didn't think I woke in mama. 2024 yeah back to Mahama. 2024 yeah wanna know. What my hand to Obama. What my hand to Omano. Ubi I see yeah. Ubi I see you. Oh no I know. Oh no I know. What to buy John the money? Ndc you know. Vote for President John Dramani Mahama 2024.
It's Body Beats, the drum king.
2024 yeah back to Mahama.
Ghana cannot survive another 4 years of the NPP if Mahmoud Bawumia is elected president. By 2028, Ghanaians would experience unprecedented levels of poverty. He will plunge the country further into massive debt. Dozens of new taxes will be forced on the people to pay for Bawumia's economic mismanagement and corruption. Each family would owe the NPP government thousands of Ghana cedis. Unemployment will reach a third of the country. There will be no money for health, no money for education. Disease and mortality rates will soar. Our children will have no hope and no future. We will not survive. On December 7th, the choice is yours. Don't let this be Ghana's future. Stop Bawumia. Save Ghana. The future is in our hands.
Ghana is at an important juncture in its history. And the decision that we make on 7th December is going to reflect on the future of this country. In the last Afrobarometer survey, more than 80% of Ghanaians said that our country is going in the wrong direction. If you are walking or you are driving and you are going in the wrong direction, what do? You change your course. And that is why on 7th December, Ghana must change course. We cannot solve the crisis in which we are with the same people who caused the crisis in the first place. The youth of this country don't have 4 years to waste. The youth of this country are in a hurry to create the opportunities that will make them live a dignified life. The youth of this country want an experienced hand. They want a safe pair of hands. They want a hand that they have seen do it before to come back and take this country and rescue us from the mess in which we have been dumped by the Akufo-Addo government. 4 years of a good leader will make more impact than 8 years of a dishonest leader. It's not about how long you serve. It is about how well you serve. It's not about 8 years or 4 years. It is about hard work. It is about truth. It is about trust. And it is about doing the things that will create a future for our young people. And that is why the NDC is calling on you on 7th December to do your duty to your God and country so that we can turn this nation around. And so on this occasion, as the leader and flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, I declare the campaign, NDC campaign for 2024 election duly launched.
Yo, it's here for you. Now we be asking some Beka who and also be bobo. We are getting ready. Our time is here. This is the NDC Forum. My name is Kingsley and Mortey. I've seen many of you joining the line. Join us if you want to speak, but your video will have to be on, and we will put you on, and then you can ask questions, you can speak, and we will be excited to have you. This is what the nation is listening to. Join us.
Yes, sir.
Of the plunderous scheme.
Speaking of a plunderous scheme, I would like to read the next 2 paragraphs very quickly. It says, when we have finally captured the command and control sectors of the country for our private use, we would then be in a better position to wield the necessary political and economic muscle to manage the destiny of this country under the reign of the House of Ofori-Penning.
And it continues.
I will repeat that and continue in the next paragraph. Don't worry.
Go on then.
When we have finally captured the command and control sectors of the country for our private use, we would then be in a better position to wield the necessary political and economic muscle to manage the destiny of this country under the reign of the House of Ofori-Penning.
Such nonsense.
To be specific, we need to strengthen our efforts to control the mineral resources as well as the electricity and water institutions. The success of this project depends
of the plunderous scheme.
Speaking of a plunderous scheme, I would like to read the next 2 paragraphs very quickly. It says,
let's get into it. So the EC. Let me greet my boss, Chairman Richard Alija. Chairman Alija.
Yes, sir, Kingsley. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing, boss?
Yeah, it's a good day. Thank God.
Yes. So so far, generally, your commentary on this EC and this posturing, before we come to the balloting and all of that, let's go.
Yeah, Kingsley, let me say good afternoon from my end of the world here in Florida. Again, to yourself, to your cherished listeners, those who are viewing and are with us here to look at what is happening in Ghana today, heading into the 2024 elections, December 7th. It's time for us to be focused to reset this country for a better tomorrow because we are at the crossroads. Now, back to your question regarding the EC. Let me make it clear and emphatically that we don't have an EC, electoral commission, as we used to have, so far as the Republic of Ghana is concerned. What we have disguised and camouflaged as electoral commission is another chamber of the governing party NPP. You may want to ask me why I'm saying so. Kingsley, we have experienced leadership of electoral commission under the chairmanship of Afarijan over a number of elections through our 1992 Republican Constitution that defines that institution as an independent institution, independence without interference by any other body, executive, parliament, judiciary, as well as the legislature. But it doesn't give the commission an absolute sovereignty, because sovereignty is vested in the people of Ghana as defined under or enshrined under the Article 1 of our Constitution, 1982, for that matter. So if we have a body or a people who have been given the privilege of becoming an empire in this august institution that ensures that democracy survives, democracy is improved, democracy is entrenched in a country where we have chosen rule of law, constitution, to guide us, to lead us. I don't think what we have seen over the years through Dr. Afarijan, through the short life of Mrs. Charlotte Osei, to today that we have Mrs. Jean Mensa in charge, that composition under Mrs. Charlotte Jean Mensa looks to me as if we are dealing with another level of the NPP that we know. Because clearly, Kingsley, we have realized and seen, and emphatically, that you see, the composition alone and the way they posture themselves and the way they talk it doesn't give us any indication of this is an umpire from the beginning. First of all, this composition comprising a team, or what we call a TESCON patron, in the person of Dr. Bosman of Legon previously, and what the students from there, those who have known him over the years, have told us, the people of Ghana, that he was sympathetic. But that is sympathetic to the cause of NPP. And for that matter, even a patron, sort of. That is not a worry, because in Ghana, I don't believe in the trust, even though there will be a few over there among us. But where somebody has already been seen in the form of having a sympathy clearly to a political party, either NDC or NPP, and being given this privileged position. And when you kind of position, we don't want you to be posturing as if you are a person that we knew. But if from day one, a commissioner of this institution will make certain utterances to reveal exactly what we know about him, to confirm exactly what we have seen him to be. In a statement that is not kind to NDC, in the form of NDC, a political party that you are pretending over as being existential threat to democracy of Ghana. You are clearly off the line. You confirm people who had thought of you, who knew you, and will be questioning you. So if you say this, these are the two largest parties, MPP and NDC, and we saw you as probably belonging there, and we want to see you in a certain to clear people's minds over that perception that they had about you or what they are saying about you. It is just unfortunate that he made that. But again, we gave him the opportunity to purge himself of that unfortunate statement. But over the years, from 2018 till today, I have not, and I believe many Ghanaians as well, have not seen them as living to that kind of a character, that kind of personality that we expect them to be. Not at all. Continuing from there, again, the other trivial matters about the chairperson herself was about a certain familial relationship with the president who appointed her, so far as the first lady is concerned, but that is also something trivial that for me didn't fly. But again, her position has been the same. Look at her. Okay? Look at her in 2020, stampeding the whole country into forming queues and lines with nose marks, and that kind of situation that the whole world, the pandemic, when we're trying to get ourselves, when we're trying to distance, enforce distance, 6 feet. Don't go near your colleague or somebody who's standing by you. Be separated. 6 feet. That was the standard. And you knew all this. But you defy the protocols of the pandemic and stampeded everybody into queuing, touching one another, touching each other, struggling, or crowding ourselves in vehicles to police stations to go and register because of election. How? That was a certain agenda to throw all the register away that she came to inherit, instead of trying to maybe review and then revise and do things to allow for those who didn't have a card to at least register, like we do we did recently. But you abandoned and tried the whole system, spent our money and forced us. For me, that was strange and that was scary. Look at them. We have never experienced any. We have never experienced in our life where elections are held and the calculations are made. Technology has offered us technologies and systems to be able to add and subtract, addition and subtraction to the highest of accuracy, 100%. Addition and subtraction. It should not be mind adding numbers 1 + 1, 2 + 2. No, you have additional tools to use. So EC couldn't have made any mistake in adding numbers and subtracting those that were supposed to be subtracted. For you to declare election and turn around the following day to come and correct it. Clearly, no. If it were some other country, there would have been chaos. In fact, even in our campuses, student elections, SRC, hall, and all that, or even middle school or high school elections, no electoral commissioner by student in a student environment would have returned the following day to tell the students that, look, the election are called had some errors. There would have been chaos. There would have been turn of tables and vandalizing of things on the campus, and probably attack those who formed that student electoral body. They would have run for their lives. But NDC, Ghanaians, and magnanimity were able to, accept that kind of thing. Not only once, so like twice, thrice. How? What were they looking for? And even from there to now, the recent limited registration that is going on, every day they were making mistakes, arithmetic mistakes. They didn't learn from the past. And then you call registrants from various police stations, and then you make mistakes for the opposition party to catch the mistake and draw your attention, and you make excuses and go back to correct them. So the opposition party were so vigilant, they were looking at your arithmetic calculations. You came and mentioned some software that was not supposed to be doing additions and subtractions. Corel Draw is not meant for that. You go to the whole parliament and then make that mistake and then give that excuse. It means there's something, so we don't have, look, we don't have electoral commission in Ghana. I don't want to go further. I'm just going to cut this. But I'm only reminding, in this conversation, I'm only reminding us about why I am seeing this so-called electoral commission as not being the electoral commission. Because we have tasted, we have tried, we have seen electoral commission. I'm not saying the institution is changed. So that when people are talking, they say it's the same electoral commission. There may be former President Mahama says so, or Chairman Shirun Kecha says so in the past, or somebody says so in the past. Why is it that it's not the same electoral commission? It's not the same electoral commission. The people, the characters, and the elements that are handling it now or running it now are incompetent, but intentionally incompetent. Let me put it that way. They have an agenda. They are an extension of the government in power, Akufo-Addo's government, the NPP. And for me, I am nervous because even today, when we are almost ready to go to election in the next 80 days or so, we still have pending a situation where we have seen a lot of challenges in the register and they are not willing to do anything about it. So do we have an EC in place at all? I don't think so. We must as well say that, look, let us allow Akufo-Addo to run elections. Let us allow Akufo-Addo and his NPP to run the election for us, because this kind of institution that's sitting down and we are spending so much money on them and have deployed a whole battalion of military men to take care of them and hold them. We never saw it. Madame Charlotte Osei goes to market without any policeman following or any soldier with a gun following her. Dr. Farijan and his team members are also running free in the country where we have a freedom of life, freedom of movement and all that. They do that. Nobody saying anything to them. So if we have election commissioners today, and that's how they are living their lives, and they are very much aware that tomorrow they may not be there, because there is a period of transitioning and a period of life as a public officer. So at the end of the day, won't you be seen as that elections commissioner, election director, election? Won't people see you? How would you want to live your life? Would you now leave the soldiers that have been taking you all over the place? Would you be free? Would you want to live in the country freely? You have squandered your own freedom, not by anybody, but by yourself. IT system, we have people that are being described to us. For long, I didn't know until recently it came out from the Ndc leaders Abidjan Fee and Coup, Dr. Manyabuama and Co, who are handling. Dr. Computer Tanku was saying that these IT being handled by by MPP apparatchiks. Actually, they don't have interest in elections. They have interest. Human beings they are cheats by nature. So you want to cheat because of that position that I was giving you. Now you can imagine those who will be the presiding officers and the district officers as far as this body is concerned. Presiding officers at the election. Look, when you go back to view the 2020 elections, and I have one in view, and that is about the Techima South or Techima East or whatever, that controversy where people were killed. I think it's the Techima South. If you looked at the time we had Larry Bevlo and the Co, Honorable and Collins Dauda visiting the place in the wake of that controversy about the results, and where they had interaction with the presiding officer of that constituency, humbly requested for a copy of the declaration. If you look at the posturing of that presiding officer, say, "Oh, I've given you the district, or given it to the region or so," and then this delegates or team said they went to the region, and the region also told them they should come to the district and come and see him. And he couldn't answer any question. Then he was like, "Status, what do you speak? What was his interest?" And this is replicated. This was seen all over the place. The playing of some hoodlums as soldiers. Soldiers are trained for a purpose. Soldiers don't behave the way we saw them behave across the country during that election.
Right.
From the north all over through the central places of Ghana to the south, including some other places. And now it's been escalated. It's going higher and higher and higher. We don't, Kingsley. I beg to say that Ghana today has nothing in the form of electoral commission. We don't have it. Let's forget about it. Let me stop here.
All right, thank you very much. Let me let the Deputy Communication Officer for Ndc USA, Rashad, come in on this point. Rashad, how are you doing?
All right, give me a second. Right, Rashad, I'm doing great. Kingsley, thank you very much. And then I've listened keenly to our senior comrade spell out all the relevant information that is necessary and that is necessary for the growth of Ghana and what is going on in Ghana. It's very, very unfortunate that our country should be going through this kind of situation in a critical moment now. So, I mean, he has said it all, and I do not think we should allow our country to toe that lane. Right. It is on us to emphasize from the diaspora that things must be done, and it must be done right. It must be done based on the process that has been spelled out in our books, in our constitution, and that is good for the governance and development of our country, Ghana. And I think the NDC, as a strong force in Ghana's democracy, has exhibited in the past our relevance in terms of towing the right course of democracy that an African country like Ghana needs. And of course, Ghana is the beacon of such in the West African sub-region since 1992, when it was initiated by the NDC, and with the resilience of the former president, rest in peace to him, former President Rawlings, and his vision for seeing that human rights and the rule of law prevail in our country. I think he masterminded it with other comrades who are senior comrades of the party today, with a continuation of us doing the right things for our democratic process. And I must also say that electorally, it is electorally opaque for our electoral commission, which is supposed to be the referee in deciding who leads our country through the process of democracy. It is behaving that way. It is electorally opaque, and I think they should allow the already established processes that has allowed our country to reach this level for them to begin to tout the effort that the past compatriots did for our country. And I think Ghanaians as a whole, and especially those who were drumming home democratic principles, for example, I would say the so-called Peace Council, should have been out to pressure home the need for the Electoral Commission to do the right thing. And I think that should be the best way for our country.
So, Rashad, so the current posturing of the EC, is this something that you think, as it is, the people of Ghana can trust this current EC as is, from the various things that we know from the people who are working there? I mean, we all know those details. Do you think that the people of Ghana can trust this EC as it is right now?
Yeah, I must say that I am going to be using this word. This is politically, the actions of the EC, presumably in the face of it, is politically manipulated, and it's politically compromised, and I would say it's politically rigged behavior. And I think to sum it all, I would say it is very, very fraudulent for a state institution that is behaving this way. And I think I must be very fair to say that it is partisanly controlled by the ruling party, by the ruling government. I mean, and I think that is going to disenfranchise so many Ghanaians, and I don't think it's fair. They are not doing the right thing, and then I think we have established processes, and we have established conventions that has been followed in the past to ensuring that we are driving in a resounding democracy. And I think the past EC, especially Charlotte Osei, she did excellent for the country Ghana, and I think she should have been taking some lessons from her to do it better. But unfortunately, she's failing us, and I think she has to sit up, and then various stakeholders must hammer on to make sure that the EC does the right thing. Yeah.
2024, yeah, back to Mahama. 2024, yeah, wanna know.
It's Body Beats, the drum king.
2024, yeah, back to Mahama. 2024, yeah, wanna know. What's the one pay, mama? I feel the world lose to mama. It's the one pay, mama. I didn't think I woke in mama. I am pay, mama. I feel the you lose to mama. It's the one pay, mama. I didn't think I woke in mama. 2024, yeah, back to Mahama. 2024, yeah, wanna know. What my to Obama? What my to Omano? Ubi I see, yeah. Ubi I see, you. Oh no, I no go. Oh no, I no go. What to buy John Jamani? Ndc you know. Yeah, one on body pack, one on pay Mahama. Ya no me do no me jana go shia pidi ya muchira baganda. Ndc ya ko faba, John Jamani Mahama. Ghana jinkwana ba, isi one man man wa baba. 2024 yeah back to Mahama. 2024 yeah wanna know. 2024 yeah back to Mahama. 2024 yeah wanna know. Oh my yan to Obama, oh my yan to Manu. Ubi I see you, Ubi I see you. Oh no I know, oh no I know. okay, Mahama. I am fair, Mahama. I feel the you lose to Mahama. They say one pair, Mahama. I didn't think I'm okay, Mahama. 2024, yeah, but to Mahama. 2024, eh, you wanna know, Mahama. What me into Obama? What me into Omano? Ubi I see, yeah. Ubi I see, you. Oh no, I know, oh no, I know. What's about John Dramani? Ndc Forum. John Dramani Mahama 2024.
It's Body Beats, the Drum King.
2024, yeah, but to Mahama.
Ghana cannot survive another 4 years of the NPP if Mahama Bawumia is elected president. By 2028, Ghanaians would experience unprecedented levels of poverty. He will plunge the country further into massive debt. Dozens of new taxes will be forced on the people to pay for Bawumia's economic mismanagement and corruption. Each family would owe the NPP government thousands of Ghana cedis. Unemployment will reach a third of the country. There will be no money for health, no money for education. Disease and mortality rates will soar. Our children will have no hope and no future. We will not survive. On December 7th, the choice is yours. Don't let this be Ghana's future. Stop Bawumia. Save Ghana. The future is in our hands.
Chairman Aglija, if you are here, let's deal with the matter of the positioning of the candidates and the EC approving 13 candidates. Very interestingly, this EC that was very parsimonious in approving candidates, all of a sudden it is approving 13 candidates, including 4 or so independent candidates. What is your take?
Yeah, Kingsley, regarding the selection, the players on the field who are ready to rumble, I think it goes along with what democracy is all about. If an independent or whoever the party is qualified by the presidential registration requirements, there is very little the commission can do. than allowing those who meet other requirements be fielded for the tournament in my own ways. So I don't have qualms about that. It's good, and the permutations, strategies, and tactics that everybody needs to, display will really differentiate the more experienced, the more competent, and the others from, the seniors from the juniors, and also the electorates would really define exactly the people they know and they have experienced and tasted to find where to place their camp. So there's no problem about that. So the players are all welcome to the field, and I hope none of them will try to give up along the line. they should sustain themselves on the field. They shouldn't give up so soon on their base. So that is good. What actually I was surprised about was this question of either the PNC party's candidate being Bernard Mona.
Right.
I don't know exactly what happened, and I'm not concerned about that much. For me, I am focused. I am focused on my candidate. That is it. I don't want to see any other person on the field. No. I'm just focused on the umbrella. I want to focus on the face of the person who will be on the ballot paper, former president, an experienced hand, experienced person, person we all admire, person we all love, somebody who is approachable, who is a listener, who can display his knowledge and dexterity so far as Ghana is concerned. Every topic, every conversation, all fields. Call him, ask him all the questions. He'll wake up and display his knowledge, whether it is archaeology about Ghana, whether it's a philosophy, whether it is energy matters, whether it is educational matters, whether it's economy. What have you? Job, living standards, the data, the statistics. It pours out from his fingers, from his head, and that is it. Very simple. People struggle. Others we have seen in their media engagement were struggling, stammering, and fixed on their scripts. They came with prepared scripts, and sometimes they'll give excuses as to or run around the whole topic or the question. So we are not afraid. All we need is that Ghanaians need to understand where we are today. That's all we are interested in. Ghanaians must understand their lifestyles. They must really look at the hardships that we are going through and ask themselves, what is it that for the 8 years that we put a new government in power, what have they been able to do for us, for the country? How far have they lifted the country from where they met it to another level? They should ask. And when you listen to them on the field, on the streets, in the communities, in the markets, at job sites, Ghanaians, majority, apart from the sycophants and the fanatics who belong elsewhere, majority verdict is that, look, we have moved away from a time of hope, in spite of a few challenges, to a time of regret, a time of severe hardship, a time of not knowing where the next meal is coming from, a time where we are not sure about tomorrow, a time where we are not sure about our health, a time of us traveling through rough roads in life. If we compare where we came from. So I am very confident that people would want to do a sankofa. It's not a sin to return to bring Meyere Dada so that we can get our lives together and understand that, look, we thought we were. We thought you were not the best. And you have a video that you have been playing, which touches me. Oh, Mahama, we are sorry. And when you look at the faces of those people who were captured on the video or that clip, you can understand that they are sincerely and with a godly sorrow, very sorry. about how they treated somebody who had given his all, or who was given his all, who didn't look back to assign blame elsewhere. You know, he brought all his shoulders to bear on all difficulties that we have traveled through over the years and decided to fix and lift us to another pedestal of development. But, you know, if he was overthrown like Nkrumah was overthrown, if he was compelled to go on exile, if he was, by divine intervention, if he had, God forbid, had died in exile like Nkrumah, and at the end of the day, the same people who demonized Nkrumah would have come back to say, we had a certain president, the person of John Dramani Mahama. We abused, we disrespected, we denigrated, we demonized him. We wished he had remained. But then it would have been too late. Like it got too late for us to return Nkrumah to lead as a path of his development agenda. So today we are happy and we thank God for this person's life, for sustaining his life, for sustaining himself. And we want to, as proven that posterity, normally is the judge, and he's alive and has decided to sacrifice his life. You think people don't get tired? You think people don't want to have the time to enjoy their families, their children, and other extended families after a time of sacrifice? So if you have somebody who went through all this after all the abuses and the demonization, who is still alive to again come and cherish the path of development, think about it. What does he want? He will live, and as a former president, will live on what the Constitution has enshrined for him to live as a former president. He will have all those kind of privileges. And, travel all over the place and enjoy himself, go to Egypt and go to Rome and whatever. Come to Florida where I live so that I can even take to the beach and go to the Busch Gardens together with Disney World and all that. He could have. But he is overlooking all this to return to the wheel for a certain legacy because he loves a career path that he chose as a young man from Bole, Dambai, as an MP, assemblyman before MP, and then traveled the path that God took him through, or the path of political life. He didn't jump from here and said, I want president. No, he didn't do that.
All right.
Okay. So this is sincere. This is the honest person that we have. And we need to give him that kind of a chance to lead us the path of prosperity. Thank you.
Fantastic. So, Rashad, unmute yourself and then come in on the positioning. In the last election, 2020, if I remember correctly, the EC did not even allow even one independent candidate. I believe we had 12 candidates at the time. I think we saw Henry, Danate's son, Henry, but I think in this one, another son, Daniel, is the one becoming a candidate. Very interesting things I heard. For the first time in a very long time, we didn't see Ivan Greenstreet on the ticket. Pretty interesting. So what is your take when you look at this whole permutation and combination? What is your take and what are you excited about?
All right, I'm so excited about the number 8. I am so excited as a believer in the universe and as a believer of how things evolve in the universe.
Rashad, before you continue, let's just take few seconds and then.
Okay.
MPP in fact breaks the 8. How would you react?
Well, there'll be a breaking of the 8, but it will be a breaking of 8 years of corruption, 8 years of arrogance, 8 years of impunity. That's what's going to break 8. So there'll be a breaking of the 8. Ghanaians are going to break that 8.
You're very, very sure
Oh, there'll be a
That's the
breaking of
eight,
the
that
eight.
is- yeah.
But the breaking of the eight is going to be the breaking of the maladministration that Ghanaians have been through these last 8 years. It's going to break. There's going to be a new dawn.
I don't want to preempt anything. Go.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, just like the next president of Ghana is saying, the eight is going to be broken. And it's very, very interesting. And then if people who understand the functioning of the universe, of the universe that we live in, nothing happens in isolation. You know, nothing happens in isolation. If we go back to history, when we lost the election, and then what President Mahama said was that posterity was going to be his judge, right? And of course, Ghanaians experienced it, and then it's very unfortunate that whatever that he said, I think he wanted well, he meant well for the country, but unfortunately there was nothing he could do, and the best words that he could put together was posterity judging the country. Now I come to the number 8 that the president picked. The NDC is not working in isolation, just like I started. The universe doesn't work in isolation. So many things are intertwined, and the functioning and actions of the world, of course, depends on the settings of the universe. I'm gonna go to, because you asked about the number, I'm gonna go into numerology, right? In success numerology, the number 8, you see, I'm doing it. The number 8 is very, very relevant in the success of things and the success of numbers. If this is what I'm going to say first. In numerology, if it's going to be the numbers that influence who wins this coming election, the NDC has won the election already, because in numerology, the power 8 represents the number 8 represents power, authority, and achievement. Listeners, take care of what I'm saying. Take note of what I'm saying. The number 8 represents power, authority, and achievement. Why is it so important to the NDC? Because the NDC is the party that has achieved much. It didn't play with the power that was granted them in the past governance of the NDC. The NDC used it in the rightful sense by developing Ghana's infrastructure and so many other developmental projects that you see around the country. And in numerology, there's this thing they call karma and balance. Right now, I'm going to refer to this as the karmic number. This represents cause and effect. The number 8 represents cause and effect. By extension, it means that whilst JM is coming into power, that becomes the cause, and the effect is going to be the developmental process that would follow when JM is in power. So this is a successful number that we chose, and I am for it, and no number would have been the best number than the number 8. So I mean, our positioning is good, and we are going to win it, regardless of whatever that they do. All the machinations that they're going to put across, it's never going to work. We are winning. That's what I would say. And to add to that, I would say the number 8 even exhibits ambition and discipline, and it also a number that shows the manifestation of goals. If people who understand numerology, they will bear with me. These are the positive things that associate with the number 8, and there's no number that we could have picked than that one. So I mean, success is coming our way. It is unstoppable, and nobody can take it. I am telling you. Thank you.
Fantastic. Ghanaians and so let's say that biblically the number 8 signify regeneration and resurrection, and it also means new beginnings. We will reset Ghana. Number 8 to prevent Yanum from breaking the 8. Oh, Jesus Christ. The same person said after the balloting of the EC for the presidential race, the NDC picked number 8. Let's do some simple mathematics here. 8 times 3 is 24. And this leads to the 24-hour economy, where Ghanaians will be shifting 3 times daily at at their respective workplaces. Let's reset Ghana. Coming from that, I wanted to also read a commentary that came earlier. Asanaba said to say politically, to say political monopolized. Massa, why? What kind of plain English is this? It's an understatement. Jin Mensa was brought in for a specific agenda. Pay close attention to her behavior, and you will see that she is the first point of state capturing agenda for the Achim Sakawa mafia. I agree with you. Fiawin says, Mahama all the way. The youth must be strong. We will do everything in our capacity to let Mahama win for good leadership. They said it is a must win for Mahama to win for better Ghana we want. She again said we must stop Baumia and his disrespectful Napo in order to save Ghana from insecurity. Amabela said number 8 and umbrella is the game changing for the difficulty the MPP puts us into. JM is the answer Ghanaians need to reset Ghana on the world map. And okay, keep your commentary coming. Keep your several comments that we have here. Let me go to Chairman Richard Alija.
Before
yes,
before you go, this is what I want to add. This is what you before you go to Senior Comrade Alija. This is what I want to add. The number 8, Ghanaians must remember this, represent resilience and endurance in numerology. It represents resilience and endurance. And Mahama is a perfect fit for that. And we all know as Ghanaians that our leader, the NDC leader, is the most resilient political figure in Ghana's history as it stands now. And he has the endurance. That is why he has run the race up to this point, devoid of vilification of all other things that are against him. You know, and I must say that this number is a success number, and it's a number of success. So therefore, we are heading to success, and no more anybody breaking the 8. The 8 is a representation of the NDC, and we are going to achieve power come 2025.
Fantastic. Abena said that 2024, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 equals 8. Yes, Christo. Vote number 8 for John Dramani Mahama. But there was a video that I saw. I wish that I could play it. But the video was simple. And especially for the MPP Forum. MPP Forum, Mwamuni say, ya catch him with that, say break the 8. And the walk or 2 bana, would the Fabepano, nekai 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Unya who 8 na fasiso. Na ya break 8 no, na ya go in him. Yaji na ye ko ni mano no enti wo de wo nya fa paper na aka to bia obia en kan kire obia say wo nya fa paper no pe ye breaking the 8 ni de ba so ye be breaking the 8 ni pe na the only way I be breaking 8 na ne say wo nya fa ballot paper no pe na kan do 8 no so pe na wo de asiso wo de siso amen kan wo ho men kan we need too much bia wo nya de siso 8 na ya breaking 8 na ye ko yenim ye be ko yenim paso ami ko chairman ho na ye hwe say chairman number 8 no on the particular mention of the 8 chairman I want you to go into it. The people are going into all kind of calculations. I don't know the math that you have in front of you. Because at this juncture, we need mathematicians to break this thing down for us.
Yeah, Kingsley, you are the mathematician and the statistician. That is your area. I don't know of whether you are skillful in permutations so far as Ghana Lotto is concerned. Otherwise, I am not. I am not a fan of. I don't have any skills in interpreting numbers. I've been reading about them, but perhaps my faith is not into the various interpretations so that by divine, I only believe in divine intervention. So whatever number anybody picks, if the Lord's hands is on you, the Lord has a promise for you. And what I can deduce from what happens so far as the numbers, for me, I am very excited about that number because I don't know what became the NPP in that balloting room on Friday. I think they wanted a number 1 so badly. that there were machinations going on. I saw even about the positioning the first ballot with the ball. I saw the director of elections, I believe that is the person of Evans Nimakun, went to look through the ball, look at the numbers, the balls, and picked a couple of them, I believe 2 or 3 or so. And he was queried about it. No, and excuse my language, sensible person would go into balloting, no matter how trivial it is, and on live camera, where it was, for you to go and do that kind of trivial thing, you go there and pick the 2 when you know everybody knows you can't do that. You just pick one and go. So why will you pick 2 and then be arguing over it? It shows the arrogance. There is no need for you to do that. Just pick one and go. But if you are doing that, you think that those who are sitting by you are also interested to pick the ball, or they just leave you to allow that. It's either they just allow you to do that and walk away. No, you should know. You should be decent. You should show kind of professionalism. Show a certain personality. Bring it to bear. So the reason, these are the people who are running elections. They are in charge. These people, Macmenu and that guy, Evans, Nimakun and Co. They are the EC. With all those guys standing by them, Samuel Tete and all the Bano, Dr. Bano and Co. They are the people, they are the officials. So they can play around it and do whatever they want to do. If I were them, okay, I would have been more interested in number 8. Because they have been talking about 8. So that it will go along with their sound of 8. So if I were a member of MPP, and I'll go and pray God, and like he was holding the Bible, you see the scam that they do. They call God to deceive us. They hold the Bible, took Bible over there. You don't need to carry Bible along. It's not a God. It's not a rosary. You don't carry Bible along to that place. Just come. These are the people who are running the country. Why not pick 8 for us? If you consulted the oracle before going there, you would have asked the oracles to help you pick 8. That would have helped me if I were MPP. I said, yes, now we have picked 8, so we are bringing the 8. It goes according to our slogan. You are struggling for God. God's hands is in it. So when I'm listening to the field, the NDC field, I've been reading the permutations and I reflect over them. I want to believe that, yes, okay, John Mahama is being brought to continue the 4 years that Ghanaians, not all of them though, denied him, so that he can complete his full term of 8 years. For me, that's one of the things I reflect over and say, yes, it's true. Because I believe there's a divine intervention. And the positioning for me, among other permutations that we are doing, 24-hour. So if it's 24-hour economy, I would want to multiply the 24-hour, use 8, the 133, and those commutations are nice. And that we are stopping the decay. When I read General Secretary Fifi Kweti's post, and it goes like a DDD thing, 3 Ds. We stop the 8 years of decay, the 8 years of kind of corruption or deception, and the 8 years of depression or something like that. And if you reflect on this words of wisdom, you can understand our ancestral spirits. We are traditionalists as well. We are Christians as well. We belong in various religions. The Lord is speaking. Okay, so but at the end of the day, on the ballot paper we know, and the faces that are known to the larger population electorates of Ghana, is a certain man called John Dramani Mahama. From let's even start from 2008 or to today. We have had his image, his picture, his umbrella, his logo all over. So there is no difficulty. So when you are given the ballot paper, you have all these names and the pictures and the logos or symbols on the ballot paper. There is no way my grandmother, okay, or my grandpa will struggle to find exactly where they would thumbprint. There's no difficulty about it all. The only challenge is to remember, and that's education that we have to embark upon as a party, so that we don't have spoiled ballot papers. It's about how, at least I know this, I've not voted so much in Ghana, but I know that from the letter education I've gotten from you, Kingsley and Coup, who have been, involved in the election in Ghana, it's about a folding of that ballot paper.
Right.
So that it's folded, I believe, is vertically.
Yeah.
So that at least you don't blare, the ink doesn't blare and then get it rejected. That is the only thing. About the face of the person, everybody voting for Mahama, or before you go to the polls, you have decided. You are not going to the booth before you decide. You have decided from home over the years and through the campaign period. Look, we haven't changed Mahama with Richard Alija or Kingsley. It's the same Mahama that we have. Right. So there's no challenge about that. It's about a folding of the paper, vertically, and you are gone. We are winning, and the Lord has shown the signs, and those who understand God in whatever they want to. It's a divine intervention, and we're going there straight. Thank you.
Fantastic. I think that I will be coming back to you, and then we will see a commentary John Dramani Mahama made that if all that is happening right now was happening under the NDC, there could have been a possible coup d'etat in our country, and we will talk about that briefly.
I have done my best and done so with the best of intentions for my God and my country. I'll allow history to be the judge of how I have served my nation.
One day on television, I will kneel down and say, Mahama, I am sorry. And someone may kafa no hosa or your angel.
Say one day,
Mahama was an angel.
Mahama kafra. Mimi this in you, but I stand for the truth. Mahama, sorry.
Oh, I'll take this opportunity to apologize to the former president. I mean, His Excellency John Mahama.
And yesterday, I was bold to apologize to President Mahama because he's a fine gentleman.
Corruption, the number of times 10. Mahama, they see the Facha Ghana for the Facha and the Facha me.
The 5 years to upper the mama chopper, but no physical. Maybe the Japan chop. My body be bring. No mama, my body be bring.
Me say someone make a kafa Mahama ho pa that time you feel say Mahama you krompo what you say. Na Mahama angel.
Ewo.
Richard, so John Dramani Mahama made a comment. Some people got excited, some people were feeling some fire about it. Let me play that, and then you can walk us through your thoughts on that commentary. So this was a statement.
Yeah, you know, you take the tick room, ha. Yeah, was so for her. Yeah, was imam for her. Yeah, was I here for her. Yeah, was civil society organizations for her. And so NDC can, according to say NDC, young kwa and your person. I was saying now you kaboom. Now you be ye maya no koba. Could you catch of Abayin say? Adiam would this man would ye digana for no? And Renaso say Mubeko. And so Ube who say Yabeko or Hinibiho or say oh Yabo Abaso, Ejima Power Yano, and at the end. Yakwa sorry, near Manakoto, oh yes, now Ubedin Kunim, why are the pa? Ezu Okombosum ha, near Sheke, and Sa Ebu Abosom no so, I can say, why are there, Yabosom no baby wechi, no wedding Kudimbium. I buy 4 way Ubedin Kudimbium. 7777. Ezu na mena meka anka saa katasehye ne proye a akoso ewo MPP aban mu anka ye NDC aban a anka by now soldier for etu ya aban ne fi ho mena meka no kra na meka kyeremo katasehye ne proye ene ewisem ene kronobo akoso ewo Baumia akofo ado abaimo anka ye NDC ene koso ewo NDC abaimo a anka se ye tu abainegu ezu na mebia ye obibia ye kase ye nipa ne bebre ye nya atwom efi se wo de hwe me ogidi se NDC na ene be din kunim wa bato num ezu inshallah NDC be din kunim
All right, Rashad, let's go. He was clear. It makes sense. Your take. You are still on mute. All right, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very clear. It's very, very clear, and it's very interesting. The leader of the NDC, a statesman who has ruled Ghana, who knows the ins and outs and how opinion leaders influence political processes and developmental processes in our country. And all that he said, I mean, is there's nothing wrong with it. He said it as it should be said by anybody. And it is grateful that it's coming from the leader of the NDC, the biggest opposition party in the country. And I think he said it right. We have all seen over the years, and it's not getting better. It's getting worse day by day. And I think it is important. It was important for him to have mentioned it at a public place. And then and I'm for that. I support that. To add to that ties to what you asked initially before you played the video of is it really true, or does it hold if whatever is happening in Ghana or has happened in Ghana in the past years, would that have merited Ghana under a coup d'etat if it was under Mahama? Of course, yes. Because remember how the Peace Council itself and some opinion leaders of Ghana, how they reacted to minor things, minor faults that the NDC did when we were in power, of course, which today people are seeing those were positive decisions that was meant for the growth of the country, and that puts the country in a very better place at the time. And then when we handed over to the MPP, they messed everything up. I'm going to take it one by one. For example, the economic mismanagement issue by the MPP for all the noise that they made when NDC was doing the best that we could when we're in power to put the country in the right direction. If it was the NP, if it was the NDC that was doing what is happening right now, that has to do with the high inflation that Ghana is experiencing, the depreciating cedi, the increasing levels of debt that we are experiencing, that has led us to going back to the IMF and so many things. Of course, if it was under Mahama, there would have been calls for his head and that of the NDC. But unfortunately, it is under the MPP, and they are playing what's the name, rat and mouse about it, those opinion leaders in Ghana. And I think it is high time they speak out. They don't have to pretend as if everything is all right when so many people are suffering in this economy that we are in as a country. And then let's come to the rampant corruption that is happening in Ghana right now. Let's think about the PDS deal and the missing excavators. Do you not think Ghanaians, especially in areas that these events happen, especially with the talking about the missing excavators, there would have been a sort of uprising in those areas? And it's been how many years right now? No excavators, there's no civil unrest, but those are people's properties, and nobody can cough about those things. And it's happening under our eyes, and assuming it was under Mahama, how it would have been treated, how opinion leaders would have been hammering on it. So I think we need to be fair. Talk of the family and friends government. We all know what's happening, from the Ken Oforiatta to Beduatu or whatever their names are. I mean, we all know all of this, and nobody is saying anything about it. Remember how it was, the country was after Mahama when we were tagged as, when the NDC was tagged as family and friends government. How many people of Mahama's family were in the NDC government? None, not that I can remember. But today we have cousins and nephews and son-in-laws and in-laws, father-in-laws, mother-in-laws in ruling the country, and they are not just in positions of irrelevance. They are in positions of relevance. They are in positions of making decisions that thrive, that is supposed to develop our countries. But unfortunately, those that they even put there are performing badly for our country, and that is why we are here. And if it was Mahama, yes, I know, we all know the bashing that would have come after it, and most probably it would have landed us in somewhat a civil unrest situation or a coup d'etat. Now, not only that, let's think about the use of military and security forces. Think about the Ayawasu incident. Let's think about that. If it was Mahama, we all know. Let's think about what is going on under the judiciary. Let's think about what is going on under the judiciary. There is so much constitutional manipulation in the judiciary sector, and it is unprecedented. And I think Ghanaians need to wake up. And this is not only happening in these areas that I've mentioned. We of course, the press and the civil rights activists in the country, they are so scared. There is no free press in the country. People are being suppressed. Freedom of speech is not as it was under Mahama. Imagine if these things that we are experiencing now, if it was under Mahama's government. See, just last week, we all know what happened at the National Cathedral, somewhere, wherever, in quotation, the National Cathedral swimming sports. What happened afterwards? This is a citizen who went there to express his feelings about some $58 million that is gone somewhere that no one knows. But as we speak now, we all know what happened to the guy. We all know. Why is the country in this kind of state? You know, so if it was under Mahama, we all know what would have happened. There would have been some chiefs and some opinion leaders would have called Mahama privately to discuss these matters with him. Why are they not doing that? Why are the chiefs, some prominent chiefs in Ghana, not doing that? Does it seem like we do not have such people under the Nanado administration? So I think we as a people need to do what is right, and doing what is right is for us and for posterity. And I think we need to be just fair as a people, honest as we are, because those are our values and we cannot compromise that. And I think John is doing the right thing by to come back to reset this country and breaking the 8. We will be voting the number 8 to build to bring back the confidence that Ghanaians have.
Fantastic. And my apologies to many of the people who have sent us messages about the doomsday that is happening right now in Accra, areas in Kasua, and many other areas where there is doomsday and you cannot follow the program. I hear you. I hope that one day, soon, John Mahama comes and help rebuild this country. Nanano dear, born dear, yes, Christo, born papa. Let me go to Chairman Richard Alija on this particular matter, where His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said that if it is under the NDC, hell would have broken loose already. Chairman.
Yes, of course, and I believe so, because what we have experienced under this government over the years is just outrageous, and it would have triggered a kind of a revolt from the various quarters that we have known over the years in the past, either from the barracks or from outside. Those of us who lived through the period of coups and attempted coups can remember the reasons that the coup makers were preferring to why the motivation for their attempt and their coup. They remember January 13th, 1972, the coup that was led by Colonel Achampong, Ike Achampong. When it came out on the Book of the Nation, he gave reasons. Some being the small amenities that they in the barracks were enjoying had been taken away from them. So one of the reasons that there was a cost of living in the country was just unbearable. There was Kalabule and pressing cost of prices were just too high and unbearable. So they decided to take over the reign of government and leaders on a more stable and more comfortable path and standard of living. Others subsequently, which were attempted coups, also came their reasons. Remember Imo Ayana, I remember Alex Hammer, and many coups that were not announced, including those that were attempted by some politicians, including former chairman of NPP, Darocha, who were early arrested, including many others. Judgments are late. I don't further tell all of them. Anyway, so came Rawlings to the June 4. That was geared towards their own senior officers who were taking over the country and thinking that they were returning back to barracks, having committed a lot of sins, and they brought the image of the narrative into disrepute. So they needed a house cleaning, So it wasn't about the public. It wasn't about the people. It was more about their own senior military men who had run the country. I remember, so for the 3 months, they allowed the elections to continue as had already been programmed in the country. and they handed over all right, and their coming back was more about the corruption that again was trying to rear its head, with the party, the fathers of the party, trying to, amass some kind of loans from South Africa. And also, a lot of things were being done. Mahama, for example, all we heard about him at the time, and the people were yelling, was about trumped charges or the Dumso no Onyon or the buy. Dumso I try say a resolve. The weakness and the capacity of our generation, our reliability on the hydro, anti omsi ono obano no day Dumso buy. Sana utie nkrofa omo mo nimu no ho. Utie MPP phone or the Dumso buy. That's wicked. That language is not true. We had experienced Dumso. We started experiencing in the latter 80s, I believe. And the Rollins experienced Dumso. If you went back to the time of Champong and Akufu, the military leaders, when we experienced a low level of the water and had to close down some port lines of Vaco, which was the greatest consumer of the Kaiser hydropower from Akosombo. We experienced some power challenges. So we had to cut down on the power supply to Vaco. So there was Dumso. Even at that time, electricity had not covered all over the country. It was just most of the southern part. So let's know the history. If Mahama, when he came, had pointed out to how Kufuor, his predecessor, had handled Dumso, where they went to pray. He never mentioned anything like that. Where they had to send Asofo to Akosombo to pray over the dam. When Viare, headed by Rekubobe Tazan, they imported some toy, in his words, generators. It couldn't help us, but for just a short time. So if a leader had experienced all over the years, all these things happening, the various solutions we try to, Nase or no say, one bosu, one case obia boni and obia nyani, or recognize the challenges of Ghana, not about the leadership. Ghana, Sisiano, your population, no, Sisiano, and Crofo Bibri, power. Because time I extend the power, always no start here wiring all over, almost extend the power to the front plains, to the rural areas, to the north, and all that. We are adding more people onto the generation. Great. There, a bedu baby, yan pebian kahua, and she a crana yano, ya share and so. And I be a wire na cable wire. Electricity come to your house is by cable wire. Cable wire, or more other bisa. If your wires na the current and you strong. If your power stations, if you check and I collapse. And no necessary, yes, and together with the Energy Commission, Ghana won't say Energy Commission. It's an institute. That's why we have the professionals. That's why we have the consultants who advise government, political governments, exactly what the problems are and how to find solutions. But yeah, I say, or no president or could or no person no sorry about no the solution, but and now no argument or the solve problem. No, supporting important institutions. So they defined the problem. He went and he promised us all we needed was patience. And as our big IPP projects, generators, car power, Ameri DN. Unko KJT market. Our couple say it was tall. Now I can say meton. Unko Dubai. Now I can say okay, car power we in a boy, we want. We also the municipal by me loan. Now got people loan. Now it's here, now Asia, now the other. And it takes a minimum of 1.5 years to put those power generators in place. And then the IPPs that we have, Asogli, a friend said to me, and near Kaka TT1 TTA. It take time. Oh, and you know, a year the time. And I don't know what Bemwa and Anka President B. It me Tammy Sika. Now it me call rented plane from Abuchi. Now new bono a day no. I call you or the Abesi airport. Kutoka inisi on a channel. Send you rent a car or rent a car for 1 week. You pay on a daily, about 14 or 20,000 euros or pounds, or the visa, dollars per day. And can you
All right, Chairman.
No, mommy, let me conclude in the next 30 seconds. Say, you know, Enanka Okoswa software, and no form committee be, and no kai say, your person cathedral because maybe person me president, you can whom me yami, and I'm no bumpy, and I may swear, and I may pledge, and I may vow, and I may no share pam say, oh, my me, a kufuado, ebe president, bisi, a sorry the amount. Ghana for your yami pa, you are sorry na be brave. Onu na ose ne nyame okono amfaya anka ho onu na okoye na fo ewie no na odada nka krakra na ebe land kura abambe land kura land na bi o aflow road udu pram ho lands be brave ho ufa o yakọ adan bi ho
Chairman no so
yeah, so those are the things,
right?
Okay, asofu yia be frese enjasafo wo him. So he's on fact. Kingsley, but here.
If it takes Boachejaku 100 years to speak the truth, how many years will it take Bagumia to speak the same truth? Never. And that's right. Quickly, we are not taking too much time. Never in his life will he speak the truth.
Me say, NDC for Omoya ne pa bone for papa. Me hu party omukura dum bone ete say NDC da. Aden Madrid for so bani bina ne kura NDC for. One pa baako ukura ayi Vinicius, ukura Rodrigo, ukura Bellingham, ukura Hwan Modric. One pa baako wasan akọfa Mbappe ebeka ho. Saa so bani bi ene kura NDC for. Aden party baako mukura Sam George, okuja to ablokwa ayi Haruna Idrusu, mukura Sami Jemfi, mukura Malik Basintali, monsanko yi running mate Jena na opoku ajimai aden moje den eden kwa na moje politics are other parties are fan friendly match mo de mo fa na World Cup first squad mukura ana mo coach Ancelotti asie dunkatia ana o coach mo ana mo intimidate other parties nesa aden Ze kamia ko yese MPP 4 bo 8 against 11. Ma pamom communicators nyina ko hye dem. Na aka miracles aboaje na ototo papa so sa aden. Moje den. Eden ko na moje den moje hwan politics mo
Rante muri inna anoni gira.
All right, Rashid, let's go. The last matter. So the one that is rolling down there, Mahama said that I know what has. So he posted this on his page. He said, I know how what has done and how he knows what to do to halt the price increases. Basically, Mahama is saying that he knows what to do. He knows what to do. So what is your take on this? From everything that has happened in Ghana in the past, from the things we've seen Mahama have done, this is your chance, man. This is your chance. Deputy Communication Officer, let's say Mahama. Is what Mahama saying the truth? That he knows how to reset Ghana. He knows how to change the future of Ghana. He knows how to redirect the car to positive way. Let's have John Dramani Mahama.
This is a question that does not demand, or this is something that we should not be discussing. tried and tested the adage. President Mahama has been tried and he has been tested. He left Ghana a very great economy, a robust economy that has been brought down by the MPP. And then this that he built by himself and the team that he built around himself and for that matter, the NDC. And just like whatever you played a few minutes ago before you asked this question, the NDC is, I remember President Mills of blessed memory. I was at the University for Development Studies, and then he came there to campaign. He did mention that the NDC, the membership that were behind him, the leadership of the NDC behind him at the time, they were galaxy of brains. That was how he described them. He described them as galaxy of brains. And if the former president described them as galaxy of brains, and by extension, the NDC has the brains, they have the potential, they have the expertise to reset Ghana. Ghana need the NDC back. If Ghanaians make a mistake to, God forbid, to bring the NDC, to bring the MPP back in power again, then it's going to be bad. If they allow them to stay in power again, it's going to be bad. And I think the best person to do the work for Ghanaians is His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And the guy mentioned all the names, the Haruna Idrisu, the General Secretary, the Sam George, all of them, the Sam Okujato Ablakwa, our General Secretary, I mean, Dr. Mary, Dr. Peter Otukono, all of these people, the Osman Ayeraga, the Pablos, I mean, the names, you can name them. These are people that have the potential of steering our country in the right direction. And they have worked for Ghana, and the NDC is annulled. That's what I want to add. This, we are so annoyed and we are so angry that we want to bring our country back in the right direction. And that is what the NDC is for. We cannot allow our country to go down. We are a people of historical worth, and we are not going to let that go in the drain. You know, we cannot do that. We have to bring our country back on the right footing so that the citizens of Ghana would believe and trust in the process, that governance would change, would make effective changes in people's life. And that's what I will have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Chairman, on the matter of John Dramani Mahama saying that he knows what to do. He knows what to do to bring Ghana back. I know what has to be done to halt the daily food prices increase and other increases. Mahama said that even the dollar rate, he knows what to do. Chairman, your take.
Yeah, thank you, Kingsley, again. And he was right. As a former president, very experienced, he has actually spelled out his programs across the various sectors of the economy in Ghana, and a development agenda, the big push among others, lowering pricing, making costs of items in the country a bit stable to begin with, and the move towards a production activity, so that at least we can have more to live with internally, and then have some more to supply us raw materials for our factories, for our enterprises, and for export. If you read the manifesto that is out there, not in its 200 page, but at least in the various small bits that we have, including the abridged version, and you look at the pages, you can understand exactly that this is coming from a team of competent members of manifesto committee under the chairmanship of Dr. Dan Subuafu, including many more of the various players who sat down, spent time, built upon the 2020 manifesto, which was the People's Manifesto, and this that we have put out there is the same People's Manifesto, because we didn't sit in our bedroom to write it alone. We had to consult. We had to travel over the country and listen to various players in the country, the industrial players, for them to, discuss. We discussed and then had conversation about exactly what they feel. And so the document that's been put together is not a document that's coming from Mount Sinai as a command, but it's a collective decision from the country and to inform us. Again, it has what it takes to resolve this cost of living. Primarily, the printing of money, the inflation, printing of money from time to time. I hear another printing will soon occur in millions of cedis from the Bank of Ghana to augment the supply of money. When you have supply that doesn't go, supply of money that goes with production, be sure to experience inflation where cost of items will shoot up, because the money circulation in the country is not going along with the activity, the production activities of the country. So definitely, when you have more money in your hands over the production of goods, the goods are supply and demand, forces of supply and demand. The goods will be expensive, and you go to the market and realize that today it was for this, but tomorrow it's gone up. Again, the taxes that have been imposed, obnoxious ones among them, unnecessary ones among them, which become a burden. If you go to the store and buy a few things, buy one item and then look at the register or the receipt that is issued to you, you see a whole list of taxes, including COVID tax. That is very annoying, because during COVID, we had a lot of money. We ourselves supplied money to help manage the COVID. Money that was put aside and bequeathed to the government in power at that time, particularly mentioned the stabilization fund from the energy that we were selling. So some revenue was put aside for situations such as those, difficulties such as those for us to lay our hands on. And that was available readily, $250 million plus in the coffers for that. So then we had to go in to pick an equivalent of about 1.2 billion Ghana cedis from that fund to help us the COVID. Again, the World Bank, the IMF, and then our donor partners brought a lot of money. At the end of the day, we had excess of the money to help us, to help our COVID situation. We had excess left over what we actually disbursed. And if you listen to the leaders of the COVID situation, they just wasted the money, stole some, distributed some to their MPs and chair ladies and chairwomen and the chairmen of the various constituencies, their party over the country, to help the 2020 elections. So we wasted money. So the COVID is not necessary. COVID levy, not necessary today, because we had excess of money. The COVID, the only shutdowns we had were Greater Accra, Kaswa, and the Kumasi, and the rest of the country really experienced that much. If you compare even the loss of life with our neighboring countries, we had less. So COVID levy, e-levy, IMF, we need to cut down. And like you rightly pointed, the COVID levy will be stopped within immediately after January 7th when it comes into government. Betting levy, that is a burden on people who are looking for some other way of making ends meet by bringing betting to go off, because if there should be any betting on any betting levy, maybe the organizers, those corporate organizations or those agencies that are involved in that, they are making the money, so they need to pay some corporate tax to the country, not the Wahala boy who is suffering and think that, okay, there's soccer going on, so let me bet and then get something, and then he appears and then he takes some money. Not the watch seller who decides to not to carry cash along, not to carry cash on her, but will receive Momo, so that at the end of the day, she's not open to armed robbery or pickpockets, and rather we want to have payment on her mobile money, cashless society that we are talking about. And then at the end of the day, the government has to take some money out of it. No, what for? And if you're sending money to you're in Accra working, and then your mother is in a village somewhere around Asasewa, and you want to remit money by Momo, you are charged. Those kind of things will need to go. So if we said we are still in IMF and all that, I mean, those are adding to the cost of food, oil, fuel, drivers. When they go to pump, and the oil continues to be increasing, and the IMF every 3 months they have to revise our tariffs every 3 months. That's a condition under IMF. So we may have to, like he has pointed out, he has to, see whether he can go and kneel down to our maybe IMF and then our partners in the developing community to see whether they can give us some additional review, because it's not coming. The country is going to go under a new management, so probably they'll have sympathy on us and give us some relief or some kind of fee, which is mentioned to be honeymoon, and people are twisting it and slanting it, and the kind of propaganda that they are doing against all those kind of things. Anything Mahama mentions, then it becomes a propaganda tool for them to use. No, Ghanaians are wiser, and they are listening to the conversation, and they are discerning and know exactly what John Mahama is talking about. Again, you see, there's a leader who run a government. When we are running a government and you're in charge of the government for the 8 years as a vice president, as a president, you are busy meeting people every day. You wake up, there's something to do. Okay, even sometimes you forgo your food, and they have to live on a lean food. You don't have that luxury. You went out of government. You had a lot of time on your disposal. You take your time to review and then reflect on the past government that you headed. Look at what were the challenges. You go on the drawing board and understand a lot of things and do the comparisons. Travel the world, listen to the world, be invited to go and deliver speeches. You go, you exchange ideas. Look at what is happening in the international community, because now you have a lot of time. So having stayed not for 4 years but for 8 years, I believe, and everybody must believe, that that person will have learned new ways of doing things. He would have learned a few mistakes, because there are mistakes. So he will know that, look, what is costing us today might be certain things, some reckless decisions that the new government is making, that is not seeing, is not listening to advice. So you are clearing your mind exactly what you want to do now, taking over the state and then getting the saddle to lead a government. So there's no doubt about what he actually said, and that is genuine. There's no overambitious person that we've seen among the players, among the candidates, who just think that they can throw anything all over the place. But this is an experienced hand, people who have been in government before, who have had a chance to go and reflect over how governance should be taken to the next level. But while he was in government, remember that he did many good things, big things, not flowering things like you want to throw small things here, which the MPP is used in the Ghana. So they say, okay, I'll give you some small thing, and then they call it social intervention. Small things. When the bigger things are sitting down there, you say, oh, free estate, so everybody go. It doesn't matter your grade, just go into the room. So as teachers, we know that you need to take a certain amount of students to be. The student-teacher ratio is very important in the environment of teaching and learning. If you don't do it well, you dilute. And at the end of the day, the product that you bring out may not be of standard. So today, when I look at certain clips and videos, and people are cutting the videos, these are some youth and young guys, I believe they are high school leavers. And then when they cut the video, and then they want again, the video is explanatory enough, then they emboss some sentences or statements on the videos. You see a lot of grammatical mistakes. That doesn't make sense. So I asked, me cry, when I went to Saito primary school, I wouldn't write like this. So you can, that's a reflection of the school or the education that we have today. And people are not minding. So you need to do the big things. You're talking about NDC, get fund, big project that's sustaining us. It's a social intervention. If you put some water in some community who are deprived of water, you put some water project and delivering water. If you repair the pipes, you supply to Mampong, you supply to Chebi, you supply to Accra North, Adenta, you bring Teshi, Nungwa, salination, water project. These are social interventions. They are not chocolate that you sprinkle in the community and say that I am doing social intervention. Okay? So we know all this. We do big things. You want to promote commerce, promote trading, promote business activity, so that when you're talking about expanding the Tema Harbor under transportation, so that the ships will not be lined up on the seas when they come to dock, and take about 4 days, 1 week to come to dock and deliver the items. So long as they are there, the mortgage is eating to them. It comes with cost. The cost is transferred.
All right.
When it affects our cost of price in the market. These are things that we do. Airport, make sure things are made easier. Cost goes down. It affects what is happening in the market. Right. That is what he is good at. So let us not be carried with this flowering and throwing gravy over us and so we are cook stew. And here I don't know you're good. It's deceptive.
All right.
It things. Jobs.
Thank you. I will come to everybody in 1 minute to wrap up. Bonito for me, Rashid. May start here free also. Final words and we get out of here. You are mute.
What I was say is very limited, and I have two things to say.
Right.
Ghanaians, vote number 8 come December. Ghanaians, bring President John Mahama back to bring back our economy. Ghanaians, bring President Mahama back to stop the confusion in Ghana. Bring Mahama back to stop hunger. People are dying in Ghana. Ghanaians, it is up to us to make the decision either to be in this situation that we are, that probably is going to get bad or worse than it is now, or we vote President Mahama. And another thing I'm going to say in my last word is I have this thing I just wrote, and I think it's very, very important. It's in line with the false cathedral that I mean was hidden, and unfortunately a Ghanaian who had the guts went in there to unveil the cathedral that we have all waited for so long. And it goes like this. We spoke of it. The spires tall, a sacred place with hallowed hall, whispers of light through stained glass bright, but shadows tell the truth from sight. We, the people of Ghana, as pilgrims, went there, but our heads bowed low. We were seeking solace they did not know. For all the faith, the silence grace, the walls were water, lost in space. In time, just so recent, the veil was stripped away. The holy dome, a pool of play, where prayers were meant, feet splashed instead, and hymns gave way to laughter spread. No pews, no altar, no divine, just ripples where the stars should shine, the false cathedral, liquid deep, where hopes once soared, now quietly sleep. That is the National Cathedral. This poem is a $58 million poem. So we are selling it to the MPP. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Chairman Rachel Ahija, very, very, very touching. Chairman Ahija, your final commentary on this matter, and let's get out of here.
Yeah, Kingsley, thank you very much for the opportunity, and I've enjoyed the discussion. Thank you, my comrade Rashad. Welcome on board, at least for today, and we'll hope to see you more. And that is my special appeal to you.
Oh, sure.
We have a duty. It's a duty call at this time. We have a few days to go so far as rescue the country with our voices from afar. I believe at least we can make some impact on our families and many Ghanaians who are hearing us today. We want to plead with you, our family members in Ghana, our colleagues, and all Ghanaians, that look, we have a responsibility to get our country back on state with hope. We know we have to move towards a sustainable economy so that things will be better. Even they'll be difficult, but again, as Ghanaians, we know how to fight those kind of challenges in life, and we can do it together. So a few days time, you'll be going to the polls, and you can compare the hands that have led you to the country over the last 10 years, and then against the recent past 8 years, so that you can make the best decision for your children, for the generation to come, and for the image of Ghana. So thank you, Kingsley, and everybody who had time with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Rashad, for joining us. And hopefully, like my chairman said, you continue to join us at least to the end of the year, where we until we usher the NDC into power. And the regulars, Paul, so we miss you today. Everybody's asking about of you, Rashid. We hope that you join us next week. I know you are busy, my brother. I know you are busy. But let's continue to do
I'll
it.
make time.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
For God and country, yeah.
For God and country, let us do this, guys.
Ghana is at an important juncture in its history. And the decision that we make on 7th December is going to reflect on the future of this country. In the last Afrobarometer survey, more than 80% of Ghanaians said that our country is going in the wrong direction. If you are walking or you are driving and you are going in the wrong direction, what do? You change your course. And that is why on 7th December, Ghana must change course. We cannot solve the crisis in which we are with the same people who caused the crisis in the first place. The youth of this country don't have 4 years to waste. The youth of this country are in a hurry to create the opportunities that will make them live a dignified life. The youth of this country want an experienced hand. They want a safe pair of hands. They want a hand that they have seen do it before to come back and take this country and rescue us from the mess in which we have been dumped by the Akufo-Addo government. 4 years of a good leader will make more impact than 8 years of a dishonest leader. It's not about how long you serve. It is about how well you serve. It's not about 8 years or 4 years. It is about hard work. It is about truth. It is about trust. And it is about doing the things that will create a future for our young people. And that is why the NDC is calling on you on 7th December to do your duty to your God and country so that we can turn this nation around. And so on this occasion, as the
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. My name is Kingsley, Mortey. Let's do this again next week. Thank you guys very much.